Bound by Fate. Episode 1. The Chance Encounter. The countryside was quiet that evening. The kind of quiet that made the wind seem louder as it whispered through the tall grass. A silver sedan rattled along the narrow road until, with a tired cough, the engine gave out. Inside, Sophia, a sharp-eyed young lawyer dressed in a crisp suit, pressed the ignition again and again. Nothing. No service. No signal. She muttered, staring at her useless phone. Perfect. Stepping out, her heels clicked against the gravel. Ahead, half hidden in the fading sunlight, a sign stood at the bend of the road. Hargrove Inn, 0.5 miles. With a sigh, she grabbed her bag and began walking. The Hargrove Inn glowed with string lights and ivy crawling along its porch. On the steps, a man stacked firewood, his sleeves rolled up, hair kissed by the sun. His name was Ethan. He glanced up as Sophia approached, clearly out of place in her city clothes. "Evening," he greeted with an easy grin. "You look like you lost a bet with the road." "My car died. Is there a mechanic?" she asked, irritation in her tone. "Mateo can fix it," Ethan replied. "But not until morning. He's probably asleep by now." "Morning?" Sophia pressed. "I have court at 10 a.m. Then you'll want a room here and the strongest coffee this side of regret," Ethan teased. She gave a faint, reluctant smile. "Fine. One room, quiet, clean, with Wi-Fi," Ethan chuckled. "You'll get 3 out of 4. Inside, the inn smelled of warm stew and baked bread. Mrs. Hargrove, a cheerful older woman, welcomed Sophia with glowing kindness. She pressed a key into her hand. "Room 2. And don't go to bed without trying the stew," she insisted. "I don't eat after 7, Sophia said automatically. "It's 6:59, Ethan added with a smirk. "Live dangerously." That night, Sophia sat in the dining hall, laptop open, frustration on her face as the Wi-Fi sputtered and failed. Ethan passed by, placing a steaming mug of coffee at her elbow. "Emergency brew," he said softly. "For legal crises and terrible internet." She glanced up at him, and for the first time, her hard edges softened. Later, she found herself drawn outside by the sound of music. Ethan sat on the porch, guitar in his hands, strumming a tune that drifted like smoke into the night. "What's that song?" she asked. "Something I'm working on," he said. "Doesn't have a name yet." "You should call it Deadline," she murmured. "It's haunting." For a moment, they shared silence under the stars. A silence that wasn't empty, but alive with possibility. At dawn, Sophia woke early. Pulling back her curtains, she saw a river blanketed in silver fog. Something inside her tugged, and though she told herself she was leaving soon, she slipped on a jacket and followed the mist down to the water's edge. Ethan was already there, waiting with a thermos. "Court heels meet country mud," he teased as she stepped barefoot into the dew. He poured her coffee into a tin cup and handed it over. Together, they stood in the stillness, watching the fog lift, revealing the slow curve of the river. "It's quiet," Sophia whispered, almost surprised. "You say that Like it's a stranger. Ethan replied gently. It is, she admitted. Their eyes met. In that gaze was a spark, fragile, unspoken, but undeniable. And then came the rumble of a truck. Mateo, the mechanic, pulled in with a grin. By afternoon, Sophia's car was fixed. Her briefcase was packed. The city was calling. At the porch, she paused. Thank you, she said softly, for the coffee, and for the pancakes, and the unsolicited porch therapy, Ethan added. She smiled, then grew serious. What's your song about? A road that ends where it should have started, he answered. She held his gaze for one more lingering moment, then turned away. Moments later, her car was gone, its engine fading into the horizon. Ethan stood on the porch, guitar in hand, the melody lingering on his lips. Mrs. Hargrove came beside him, watching the empty road. Some people come through like rain, she said. Doesn't mean they were never here. Ethan strummed once, the tune full of longing. She was here, he whispered. The song had a name now. Detour. To be continued. Episode 2.